So we've ingested some data. Last thing that we're going to do is have a quick look at it. So to do that, I am going to show you how to install a package. We're going to use this package a lot, and it's called ggplot. And GG, I believe, stands for the grammar of graphics, I think. It's a very nice graphing language that when you're working with large data sets and complex data sets, it's very powerful in terms of setting up the exact graphs you want and using the exact data that you want. It's going to save you gobs and gobs and gobs of time relative to trying to do this kind of stuff in Excel. So to install ggplot, you want to go to Packages and click this Install button. And then these things are usually you make sure Install Dependencies is checked. But generally I don't change these defaults. And then you just start typing ggplot. And now it has a new version called ggplot 2. And so go ahead and click that, and it says ggplot2. And then now this is probably going to do something weird for me, but we'll see because I already have it installed. But you click install, and then it does some stuff down here, right? And you see some red text and things like that, and then it says the downloaded binary packages are in this crazy location, and everything is good. So red text is usually worth looking at because it means R is trying to tell you something, but in this case it's just informational. It's just saying, here's where I'm looking. Oh, found it. I'm downloading this. I downloaded it. Now I installed it. Everything's fine. Now, when you install a package, that means it exists on your machine, but it is not ready to use until you install it with the library command. And so what you type is library, open a pair of, sometimes it automatically opens these brackets, a little pair of round brackets, and just start typing ggplot2. And you can see it's like, hey, is this what you want? Like, it tries to help you by autofilling. You can click on that or complete typing it. And again, this command isn't run until you submit it. And so if you're on that line, you got a bunch of options. You can select the text, hit Command Enter, but as long as you're somewhere on this line, line 3 for example, and you hit Command Enter, you see it submits it down here. And so now ggplot2 is ready for you to use. And now we're just going to do a simple graph and with just one variable, and just to sort of show you the basics of ggplot. And then the next video we'll start adding layers of information on that. And then the video after that, we'll start actually introducing the concept of replication and experiments. Also, by the way, only 2 of you have watched these videos, so for those of you that are watching them, those 2 of you, I'm making these in real time. I'm very open to feedback as to what works for you and what doesn't. Do you want me to go slower? Do you need more explanation? You need to tell me how to make this situation work for you, right? Remember, I'm actually here to help you. I get paid to help you. So let's make a simple graph and call it good. So to make a simple graph, you start by calling the ggplot command, and then you open a pair of brackets. Okay? And that's saying, hey, we're going to make a graph using ggplot. But now ggplot, you need to tell it what to graph. Okay? So the first thing that I like to do is tell it what data set to use. So you type data equals, and we only have one data set. So watch what happens here. And it's called data underscore blah, blah, blah. We'll get to renaming things and stuff later. It's, we're not doing that right now. But if I start typing data underscore blah, 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 it's like, oh, you want this one? Right? And so that little sigil that looks like a table means here's a data object. And then these little things are like commands and stuff. You don't want to put that in there right now. That's advanced stuff. Just click on it, it automatically fills. Okay, so we told it what data to use. Yay. And now we want to tell ggplot, what do we want the graph to look like? Okay, like just what we call the aesthetic. And that abbreviation for that is AES. And we open up another bracket. And here, all I'm going to put in is X. So the x-axis equals generation. All right. And the y-axis equals, let's use dominance. That's one where, yeah, evolution is easy to see. Okay, so we said, hey, here's the data file, and we want it to look like this. X-axis is this variable, y-axis is this variable. If we just submit this, the result is a bit counterintuitive, and so I'm going to submit it, and I'll show you what I mean. So I hit Command Enter, and I've submitted it, and immediately what you see down here in the lower right is a change. It's flipped over to the Plots tab because we've made a plot, but it's empty. It has placed generation on the x-axis with a default scale, 0 to 18, and dominance on the y-axis with a default scale, 0 down to -15. But there are no data here. Okay? And that's because we just set up the aesthetic. We haven't actually plotted anything. And to plot things, we usually write or code in terms of, I think they're called geometries. And so we need another line to actually put the data on here. And this is, I mean, I know that this is probably annoying, and you're like, that's stupid. I hate R. I want to use Excel, or not at all. I want to just eat Cheetos and watch TV. Anyway, calm down. This will get really powerful later when you want to layer different kinds of plots on top of each other and that kind of stuff. To continue a ggplot command, we put a plus sign, and then you don't have to put an enter, but I like to kind of code properly. And then this is fun. See this little red X? It's saying, hey, unexpected, what the hell, you got a plus sign and then nothing after it. I'm waiting for some more information. That plus sign is telling me you're going to give me more information. Calm down, R. I'm working on it. So what we want to do now is put a geometry on this aesthetic. So we type geom for geometry, and then we have I was going to swear, sorry, a lot of options. Look at all of these different kinds of plots we can do that you will never do, because that's terrifying, right? We're going to do a really simple one, okay? But that's a lot. Okay? We're going to do geom, and then you underscore point, okay? And then there's, you can autofill it, and it automatically gives you the little brackets. And we'll just use the default. You can control all sorts of crazy stuff in here, but we'll get to that next video. Relax. So now, eventually, that X should go away. But anyway, we'll see. So the most intuitive thing here is highlight the whole thing, hit Command Enter, and what we've got is dominance against generation, right? We could do the exact same thing if you're at the end of like a thing where it's like the plus sign and all of this kind of stuff, and you can just be at the end of a bunch of commands that are united by plus signs, hit Command Enter, and it does the exact same thing. I don't know why this X is still here. I'm gonna hit save. There, it goes away. Okay. So that was our first graph. Now let's go in here and try to really understand what's going on, because this gets to sort of the unit of statistical analysis, the unit of experimentation. For right now, we just have one run of Darwin's Demons, and we're just saying what happened to dominance. And we're doing that by plotting the dominance value of every alien, all 1,482 aliens, as a function of generation. Beginning of the game, generation 0. End of the game, generation 18. Every single alien has a data point on this graph. Now you can adjust the width and height of the windows and stuff to really see the graphs, and it auto adjusts. You can hit zoom and it makes it into a different window that you can auto adjust, you know. And then you can export the graph as well, which I'm not going to show you in this video. But generation 0 to 15, start of the game, end of the game. They started each different kind of alien. Now you got a lot of overlapping points here. That's why it only looks like there's 4 points here. Don't worry about it. And what you can see is that in this generation they reproduced, we added mutation, and so you see more variance in this generation. And then you can see you had an individual down here that had a very low dominance value, right? So you can kind of see some outlier individuals here. But eventually what we see is right around generation, I don't know, let's say 8, 7 or 8, the dominance value, the average, if we eyeball it, or the median, it starts to go down. And it's kind of stepwise, but then it really starts to go down. Okay, last thing I'll do. What in the heck is dominance? This is not genetic dominance, like big A is dominant over little a. This is the name of a trait we give the aliens. It's a gene, and it determines the order in which they enter the field of play in a particular generation. The aliens with the highest dominance get added to your vision, your field of play, first, and the aliens with the lowest dominance get added last. I'm hoping everybody understands that. So, in generation 0, these aliens up here with a dominance value of 0 went in first, got shot by you, and then eventually we replaced them with more aliens in subwaves. And these aliens down here entered last. So the question is, what's going on with dominance? Why is it going down? Is that a result of natural selection, or could it be genetic drift? What's going on? So we'll have lots of experiments where we can explore this kind of pattern. But that's the basic idea of ingesting a data file from Darwin's Demons and just constructing a very simple graph. I hope that's helpful. Please, please, please text or email me or call me if there are ways that I can make these videos easier for you to understand or more useful for you as you start exploring all the online options for Bio 315. Have fun. Log it off. Bye.